It is a great honor to be part of the 50th anniversary celebration of the Macha Tulama Association. For a people facing complete erasure, survival itself is a revolutionary act. The fact that we are gathered here today to honor the founding of Macha Tulama 50 years ago speaks to the fact that despite all odds, we have survived as a people. Ethiopian history is full of attempts to annihilate the Oromo culturally, politically, socially, economically, and in every and all ways possible. Oromos, cast as foreign, alien to their own lands, have been the targets of the entire infrastructure of the Ethiopian state since their violent incorporation. Our identity, primarily language, religion, and belief systems and cultural heritage, have been the main targets of wanton distraction. Oromo and its personhood were already demonized, characterized as embodiments of all that is inferior, shameful, and subhuman from the beginning. Oromo people were economically and politically exploited, dominated, and alienated. Oromos were rendered slaves on their own lands by a colonial land tenure system. Given the huge systematic and structural forces that have been mobilized against the Oromo people and its peoplehood, it is truly astonishing that we have survived at all. But we have survived not by some miracle, but because our ancestors have continuously resisted violent assimilation, dehumanization, economic exploitation, and complete eradication. We have survived because our people have courageously and wisely organized, sang, fought, and sacrificed. We have survived because of brilliantly organized Oromo institutions, such as Macha Tulama, which have held our communities together. For 5 decades, this organization has been the vanguard of the Oromo people's struggle for freedom, liberty, and autonomy. Macha Tulama was conceived at a time when Oromo people desperately needed institutions that would provide direction, leadership, and mobilize the financial, human, intellectual, and creative resources to empower Oromo communities. At the time of its founding, the association was confronted with dire economic, social, and political predicaments the Oromo were facing. One of the most important tasks of this organization has been rebuilding the confidence and trust of Oromo people in their own cultural heritage, language, belief systems, and identity. Creating opportunities and spaces for a people who have been historically denigrated and traumatized to regain their self-esteem was and is no easy task. This is a project we must continue until Oromos are able to have complete control over their fate and future. There was nothing easy about being Oromo and young 50 years ago. Young people, students, and others risked their lives, limbs, and property to organize, to publish leaflets and other literature that would become vital sources of national consciousness raising and empowerment. Macha Tulama leaders, members, and others affiliated with the organization faced torture, death, imprisonment, excruciating pain, and harassment. Every gain that has been made by this association has been because of the huge sacrifices paid by individuals and by the collectivities to which they belonged. We are here today celebrating the 50th anniversary of this association's founding because of the sacrifices made, but most importantly, because of the vision of the leaders and members of Macha Tulama, a vision that one day Oromos can live with dignity and freely on their own lands. The Ethiopian socio-political establishments who have always opposed and mercilessly attacked any pan-Oromo movements have not changed very much in nature. This is why we are here tonight commemorating the 50th anniversary of Macha Tulama outside of Oromia rather than on our lands. The work begun by Macha Tulama must continue It is critical that we continue to build inclusive pan-Oromo movements and institutions that empower our people for self-rule. My generation should look into the history of Macha Tulama Association. They will find themselves moved by the vision, mission, courage, ingenuity, principle of the leaders and members of this organization. We must ask ourselves how these brilliant and innovative groups of people were able to accomplish the impossible during one of the darkest periods of Oromo history. What techniques, methods, and leadership styles did they employ to build a pan-Oromo organization at a time when using the word Oromo itself was a crime? We must closely study the life, achievements, and challenges of Jiroble Toure, General Tadesse Berru, Asted Habtemariam, and so many others. I am endlessly inspired and encouraged by the stories of these great Oromo leaders. There is a lot for us to learn about how to organize in a way that dignifies and solidifies people's bond, ways that create a real sense of community, and a sense of cohesiveness that is based on recognition of differences as well as the commonalities that bind us. We are here today because of the sacrifices made by thousands of Oromos in every corner of Oromia. Most of their stories have not been told. The stories of ordinary people who have resisted century-old colonial domination, exploitation, and assimilation. Our elders have been preoccupied with the task of surviving and with the task of laying the ground upon which we can hold our heads high and walk. It is this we must remember as we go about the tasks of organizing, documenting, painting, writing, and creating institutions to build our community's capacity for the next 50 years and beyond. We must learn from the founders of this association that quality of leadership, vision, principle, innovation, and good faith in leadership are necessities for our continued survival as a people. Thank you.
Thank you.